realistically. He's looking at 4 wins from 4. He's dropped to 5th space courtesy of Andy Jenkins winning the opening match. But there'll be a lot of chopping and changing in particular spots today. The only spot that does look like changing is Paul Nicholson staying top of the table. But his throw's under a little bit of pressure here.
1, 2, 1.
But a good tidy up there. He drifted into Paul finds 2 trebles to 83.
58.
Can't find the bullseye there, so Diogo gets a shot at the 106. And this would be for the break. Look at the treble 18 with the second dart.
98.
Yeah, he can't find it, so Paul will return. For a open holder throw.
Nine scored.
Paul has beat Diogo this week.
Tracking 3 dogs.
Paul won 3 of his 4 yesterday. Lost to James Hubbard in the last match of the afternoon. And it's just been broken in the leg here.
Oh, 38.
Doesn't kick things off in the best of fashion to try and consolidate that break.
100.
$83.
Paul has the best first 9 dart average in this group, and that's what he's doing. He's getting out in front early in legs. He sits. He also leads the 180 count. That's despite Aaron Monk chucking in a 9 dart in there. He's hit 31 180s this week. Paul Taylor, at the least, he's hit 13. Has a couple of 10+ averages this week, but his highest eclipsed by Aaron Monk's 9 dart. And that match where the average is 108 in the end, but
140.
Paul's been the more consistent of the 2 players in such a position in the
55.
does come down to a here, but Taylor started off with 38. Has gradually got better and better. Scored a 83 at 140. And he'd like to pick off a treble 20 with the last start there, just to round things off. Paul will start on treble 9 certain here.
$79.
Yeah, he did attempt the treble 19s, 2 for 32, but they didn't go. He'll return for 67 if Diogo can't get rid of the 80.
60.
And he just drops low. So Paul now to get a break straight back.
Game 2.
Yeah, and he does get the break straight back. Good finishing from Paul Nicholson. Both players with 17 dart legs to kick off the opening 2 leg.
$95.
Um, 38, 47.
Yeah, and both players you wouldn't say have settled here yet. It's all a bit patchy.
100.
Paul Nicholson just creeping his average up towards 86.
140.
No early consistency from either player, but we are only 10. Coming up in the next match, we see Adam Huckvale first time today. Takes on Aaron Monk, who's already been defeated.
39.
And knows his chance of finishing top are hanging by a thread.
29.
He needs Paul Nicholson to reach and him to win every match and overturn some legs. It's a big ask, but
97.
134.
'Nicholson for a 2-1 lead. He finds it, and he's just starting to up it here, Paul. His average up over 90 now. Better darts from the asset, the league leader.
134.
180.
We have our first maximum of the match. Paul's 32nd of this week's Icon of Darts Live League.
58.
100.
136.
Credit Diogo, he's down to 173 in this leg. We've seen Paul kick off with a maximum to leave a finish of some sort, and he is finish.
105.
Yeah, sensibly, I like that shot on the lap out of the ball. Gets you below 120, which means it's a treble, single, double combination rather than the ball coming into play. $116, treble 19 and a single 19.
$96.
And misses the top, so Portela now has a chance to get back on level terms. Treble 19.
47.
He drifts into the server, never really threatened. Take the 113 there, so for a bit of daylight now for the 3 legs to 1 lead.
Game 1.
Yeah, and he converts, and he's starting up the ante now, Paul. 2 more legs, and he is this week's champion and can rear himself in his remaining 3 games this afternoon.
135.
Yeah, after a slow start, he's really starting to assert himself in the asset. And looking for a clean sweep of victories over Diogo Portela this week. As I said earlier, he's wage 3. Looking for 4 on the spin.
$140.
And he's well on his way, and his average creeping up over 98 now.
140.
Diogo in the mid-80s.
$50.
$140.
Back-to-back 40s from Diogo. He's first to a finish.
$140.
But he's under pressure to take the 1-2-4. Great setup from Nicholson. Paul Nicholson
84.
has gone 15, potentially another 13 here to go on the brink of victory.
Came in 2.
Yeah, and isn't 14 data. Or 1 now, Beads. Had his throw broken in the first leg of the match, but
100.
being comfortable from them. Brazilian now needs
51.
4 legs on the spin to clinch victory here and to keep Aaron Monk's chance of topping the league alive.
140.
Paul would have been relaxed anyway. He knew he had a good lead, but even more so after Aaron's defeat against Andy Jenkins
100.
in the first.
Uh, 58.
Diogo's still got a decent lead here. He should claw 1 leg back here. Paul Nicholson can't leave the 70 with a maximum.
100.
Fine maximum, so Portela. A cushion of 47 plus these coming in now
85.
to hold his throw for the first time in the match.
$140.
But Nicholson ramps up the pressure again. He's on a 2 data, but I don't think he'll go treble and ball.
80.
But Taylor can't quite find the double 19. So are we going to see a 10 plus finish to wrap up things here for Paul? Dart double 16. Slips inside 1 match dart's come and gone. Portela now with a decision to make. Split or straight out? Going straight for it. And only 1 dart left.
No score.
And he can't find it. So Paul Nicholson, 3 darts for the 5-1 victory and confirm his place at the top of the Icons of Darts Live League. And he does. Paul Nicholson runs out a 5-1 victory against the Brazilian Diogo. And that means now Paul Nicholson can't be caught. He is the overall winner of this live league. He's still got 3 games remaining, but for Nicholson, his nearest challenger was Aaron Monk, and he's coming up next against Adam Huckvale. We welcome for the first time today Adam Huckvale taking on Aaron Monk. Aaron Monk, who was the only player who could possibly catch Paul Nicholson. But that's all over now because he lost against Andy Jenkins. Paul Nicholson has done. He sews up the league phase with 3 legs to spare. Good week's work from the asset. Look to win his last 3 games for a good points haul. Could potentially finish on 34 points. Which would be some points haul. Adam Huckvale getting us underway.
99.
A steady start for Adam.
10. 81.
Aaron Monk, who had a bit of frustration get the better of him in the first game, but
59.
knows that in his second now, so just seal victory in the remaining matches will do that.
100.
And all that would be enough.
$91.
Adam Huckvale, who came through the qualifiers in Chester to qualify for the UK Open, but fell at first hurdle in mine, and he was well beaten by Steve Burton. 6 legs to 1, but he has won the Challenge Tour bean. And he did get a call up for the Pro Tour earlier on in the year, this year. Won his first game in Pleasure 7. But go any further.
60.
Huckvale defeated Gavin Carlin before going down to the Latvian Madas Razma.
Oh, 60.
Fine tops for an opening leg here.
Aaron, 80. Oh, no. Sorry. 71.
So Huckvale gets another go.
Game in 1.
He pulled through in the end. So opening leg for Huckvale.
$140. 43.
Yeah, slip into the treble 1 there for Adam. So Aaron has a cushion already here.
140.
Ball with 10 points. But good day today. Could see him finish a couple of spots higher,
81.
depending on results going his way.
60.
Adam Huckvale did defeat last game of yesterday, but that was his only victory.
$137.
Aaron sets up a potential 13 dart leg. Aaron in that opening game made a real mess of the first leg. I don't feel he ever recovered, but he's recovered from losing the first leg here a bit better. He's got to get the job done on the double.
18 scored.
He's left double 3. I might have been tempted just to chuck that away the last start and go back to double 12. Huckvale on 2-6.
57.
Even if Aaron does decide to split the 6, they're not doubles these last. He doesn't. He goes straight for it. Where we thought pressure on himself, no pressure at all. Aaron Monk holds.
$83. Ton. $100. 140. 100. 60. 92. 43.
Huckvale, who won that meeting yesterday by 5 legs, to be looking to move back in front here.
54.
90. 419s, but he can't find the treble 16. So he's 72. Aaron on 158. Not going to go. Huckvale's got to be careful here. He hasn't started the game well. He's got to.
40.
Aaron for the break.
56.
No, can't find the break. Slow down from both players, and particularly Adam. He really needs this. Not won a lot of games this week.
16.
Misses more doubles, so I'm sure breaks through.
Game in 2.
He does break through. Either player will be thrilled how they're playing, but Aaron Monk obviously happy at the 2. Average in the low 80s, but he's got to break a throw and leads 2-1.
42. 123.
Better start. All opportunities.
58.
Reminder, a night of the dart underway at the earlier time of 5:30 tonight.
41.
Alan Sherrick joins the remaining 5 players in the Night of the Darts Live League. Boris Colt,
99.
Askew, Wessel, Neiman, Dave Mitchell are the other 5. Martin Adams, his campaign is over. He still sits top, but it's a slender lead he has over Wessel. That'll all be concluded tonight.
59.
Yeah, credit Huckvale here because he hasn't had a confident start, but this is a better leg. He's looking to break straight back.
100.
A 10 brings him to 112.
30.
Aaron can't find any sort of consistency at the minute. It was Jenkins, it's patchy here.
56.
Huckvale leaves 56. Level things up.
134.
Aaron switching down the ball sensibly there because the first start blocked the treble bed. So he's making distance if Huckvale makes a mess. He doesn't on this occasion. Huckvale, better leg, gets it back to 2 legs apiece.
$134. Ton. 121. Ton.
Back-to-back tons for Aaron, but Huckvale is warming to the task. His average still below 80, but he is.
58.
He's got to limit. He gets a couple of ton plus scores and with a treble as visit.
1, 2, 3. $100. $85.
Aaron again, it's a treble, but 5 segment, Huckvale to retake the lead. He'll trail 2-1. Let's go back in front.
63.
But misses the bullseye, so Aaron gets a chance. Will he go the treble 19 route, or is he looking at the bullseye?
Um, 53.
And just sets up in the end. He can't find a dart of the double, so Huckvale now moving front.
Oh, 17.
And he can't. Double 8 is causing problems. I think you could hear Adam there. He knows it's not been his friend in this match.
Let's go.
Aaron drifts into double 15 first to score. So Huckvale, it was a really scrappy match. Have another leg below 16 darts.
4.
Huckvale keeps missing. There's nerves here, both players. That's what happens.
Game on.
Involved in a scrappy match. It's Aaron Monk who takes the leg.
Let me treble what the right one. 55. 45.
55 score. It's going to come down to hold themselves together a bit on the double. So the scoring isn't there for either players, really. It's all a bit patchy and up and down. But Aaron Monk has the breaker throw, leads 3-2.
59.
Mathematic, that is sure. Still very much anyone's game.
140. One, 3, 5. All right, 42.
Adam Huckvale, we see again 2 big ton plus scores and does it with a 42.
58.
58 for Aaron.
$139. $93.
Huckvale, more was it? He does find the double. And fair play to him. He breaks straight back. It's not a classic. Missing a lot of those surrender legs, but he does regrill in Adam Huckvale. 3 legs to play.
$177.
Now we see the biggest score of the match. I haven't had a maximum, but that's as good as one. Huckvale kicking off the leg. Aaron Monk coming back at him. Are they just going to trigger each other here?
81. 134.
134s.
$99.
Good stuff from Huckvale. Potentially, if he can get rid of the 144 of that leg, which would be by far the best.
$128.
That's good stuff from Huckvale. 12 thrown, he leaves himself 16. Good setup play. And it's firstly held himself together, but he has left his arch enemy 88. Hasn't been friendly to him. And that does go through your head in a game when you have. He does hit it this time. We have our best leg of the match. Huckvale, he's one away from victory. If he can take this leg out here, he repeats the scoreline of yesterday when he defeated Aaron 5-3. Fair play to Huckvale. It'd been easy to dodge the 88. He went straight for it.
100.
Aaron staring at a second consecutive defeat if he can't hold and find a break in the remaining two legs.
120.
Good darts again from Huckvale. He had a bounce out, but finds a maximum score with two treble 20s.
129. $85.
Aaron 172 points away from sending this to the deciding leg. Again, it's just a bit frustrated. He finds a treble to the one. It's so patchy from both players. Huckvale has the advantage courtesy of having the darts. He could still get it done in this leg. Aaron, gimme, especially the way this match has gone.
Of course. 71.
And he has his Huckvale could potentially match start here in 96. Treble 20 for double 18 will be his first port of call.
38.
He doesn't use the guide at all there.
Okay.
So Monk to send us all the way. He does send us all the way. Pretty, but second 16 dart leg of the match for Monk. Huckvale to get us underway leg.
$60.
Only a 60 for Huckvale, but
40.
there's only been one leg where someone's really run away with it and produced that bit of quality, and that was
57.
At least you feel 1-2 treble visit. Give one player massive advantage in this leg. There's a turn for Aaron. Slender lead. It's going to be cagey. It's going to be match has, but someone is going to clinch
40.
a well-earned victory. Another bounce out of Adam Huck.
43. Another treble one.
43 hasn't pounced. 9 darts of players still in the 300s. Just been one of those games.
125.
One player pull, and you just tend to get stuck with it, and it's just about who can hold
96.
themselves together now. A couple of tons. 3 points in it. 4 legs apiece. Huckvale crucially's got the darts.
171.
And from nowhere, Huckvale produces 3 treble 19s, and he's going to get some match darts. But Aaron's put the pressure on, and this is no gimme the way Huckvale's been finished on this side of the board.
Game in 2.
But he does finish in 2 darts this time. It was far from a classic, but Adam Huckvale is off and running. Aaron Monk, on a day where he needed 4 wins just to stand a chance, has lost his first 2 games. 2 more wins will likely finish second spot, but it's Huckvale who prevails in a deciding leg 5-4. Andy Jenkins and Paul Nicholson coming up shortly. Yeah, we're just about to get underway in our fourth match of the night, and it features well, icons of that champion, Paul Nicholls, can now not be caught. He plays his remaining 3 games, knowing he will finish this week's table topper,
Sorry.
joining 2 other champions of
Okay, thank you.
Wesselman, David Evans the first week at Pip Wesselman,
25.
and Jason Askew won it last week. So Paul Nicholson
Also 25.
and can play with a bit of freedom in these last few games, but you'll be keen to finish on a points total. He can still get to 34 points, and that'd be an incredible
Outside.
return. From 20 matches
25.
played. Andy Jenkins wins the ball and gets us off and running. Paul Nicholson currently on 28 points, 6 more points to play for.
$100.
100.
140.
85.
Yeah, but Nicholson has only suffered 3 defeats, but one of them has come against Andy Jenkins. 5 legs to 4. Andy Jenkins will be looking to finish strongly. He's had a poor campaign for his standards, but he's opening out Aaron Monk earlier, which allowed
140.
Paul to jump in and seal top spot with just 1 victory. He knew 2 would do it anyway, but 1 has clinched it. Potentially kicking things off an 11 dart leg. Have to be 12 now.
49.
This is the double 16. Hope to be back. Is
100.
going to come back. As I said, Andy Jenkins beat Aaron Monk 5-3. We've already seen Paul beat the early impressively by 5-1, despite dropping the first leg as well. We've just seen a scrappy game in our last leg decided against Aaron Monk by 5 legs to 4, and Paul Nicholson blows the chance to break through early here.
Game in 3.
And Andy holds through, despite a 180 from Paul. 4 darts to win that opening leg. It's Andy Jenkins who hits the ground running. 1 leg to nearly lead.
$96.
41.
Yeah, Paul Nicholson has suffered 3 defeats. 1 to this man here, Andy Jenkins, and to James Hubbard, who's finished his campaign. He won't be back. This the
97.
campaign. It was a bit up and down, but
100.
he'll be satisfied with how he's played.
$138.
180.
Andy Jenkins finds his first 180 of the match. Reminder, to complete the halfway point, we've got Adam Vale and Diogo Patella coming up next.
$76.
$100.
Andy Jenkins could still finish second, but he's started the day on -7 legs and 8 points behind Aaron Monk. He needs to win every game, and well, on Aaron loses remaining 2 and Clawson legs, so a lot of permutations there. Nicholson breaks back with a 24 finish.
$60.
So Clan could still finish second. Unlikely, but could. But Bob
60.
is level on points with Adam Huckvale. No, sorry, it's Stacey. He leads Adam Huckvale by 12 points. And as good as a maximum there, 174 for Andy, switching down the board.
$140.
$97.
Paul Nicholson has been in, along with Andy Jenkins, the only ever present in the Icon Darts Live League for the first 3 weeks.
$100.
It's a good start to the game. Both players up in the high 90s.
37.
And Andy Jenks just finding the wrong trebles. The treble 1, the treble 5, either side the treble 20. An opening for Paul here.
$99.
And Paul looking for the 25 there. Or bullseye his last
97.
start, slipped into the 19. Andy leaves 36, but may not return if Paul can get rid of 102. Treble 14, Paul maybe. Gets the treble 40. And he takes the 102. And impressively, a 15 dart leg again for Paul. And that's a finish of 94 and 102 to get him out in front.
$96.
$100.
Paul Nicholson leads the 180 charges. He said only lost 3 games. He's a deserved winner of the overall live league.
41.
$97.
Looking to back up that breaker through with a hold of his own.
$58.
And he's going to have to go some, though, if he's going to make it a third 15 dart leg on the trot.
135.
And he's lost in this. Jenks can't leave a finish, but 169 plays 306. Jenks looking to restore parity straight away.
59.
97.
The poorest spell of the match for Paul. 9 darts out of treble. And in all likeliness, we're going to see a score out of 2 each, including this leg, unless Paul Nicholson can pull a 140, turn 80 out the bag here.
59.
No. A big treble and just a leg to write off, you feel, for Paul Nicholson. Just one of them.
56.
James misses the double 16, but we'll return to attempt to make it 2 legs apiece.
100.
Paul Nicholson having no such problems closing out victory in the league table here today. Martin Adams
16.
led 10 point. But couldn't a single victory. Wessel Neiman, his nearest challenger, found 4 from 4. He closed the gap to 2. And he'll look to clinch a back-to-back a night of the Darts Live League top spot. And if Fallon
85.
Sherrick is involved tonight. So it's 6 players in the group. Obviously, her matches do not count towards the league table. And our best of 7 legs.
24.
But just gone off the boil here. After breaking, you felt he was just going to take control of the match. But
97.
Andy looking wins from 2.
$77.
Trebles are drying up for Paul Nicholson, though.
$41.
$97.
Yeah, picks off a treble there. This game's getting a little bit scrappy here. Good start. In the opening 3 and a bit legs from both players, but it's got a bit cagey
97.
as it's gone on. We've just witnessed the game that was just scrappy all the way for Aaron Monk. Adam prevailed in the end. Just feel it's
57.
one player, little purple patch, and they could run away with this match.
98.
Andy down to 83. Realistically, you're thinking turn 40. Has hit a 102 already in this match.
45.
And again, Andy Jenkins,
Yeah, he came in
he
second.
was in the previous, was in a position of comfort, and as it proves there, Andy holds and leads 3 legs to 2.
$41.
60.
And 40.
Paul Nicholson trying to regroup. He led 2-1 with back-to-back 15 darts, but hasn't really found anything since.
100.
60.
$140.
And Andy Jenks is threatening a third leg on the trot here. And this is what we're talking about. Just one player to sort of rally will probably decide this game.
$40.
Yeah, 4. Forgive him that, though. He has been as close to perfection as you can be this week, like with only 3 beats. But he's staring at a 4th here. But he's still in this leg. Andy couldn't find a treble there. Any sort of treble would have left that finish a lot easier. He's got a big treble, I'd say. Yeah, and Paul, again, we've seen a similar leg earlier. He had a 140, but
100.
12 darts around that with no treble. And they're going down 4 legs to 2 here if he cannot convert 160. Just steady himself, Paul. Poor second dart.
40.
And can't find a treble again. So Andy Jenks for 4-2 lead.
Oh, you're joking. No score.
Let's Paul off the hook. 120. Shanghai in the 20s for Paul. Oh, yeah, it was awkward. I thought he might have just had a pop. But it's been one of those legs, frustration. Things like that just might trigger something. But yet again, another leg to get for Paul. But Andy is stuttering on this double 18.
Game. Second leg. Second dart, sorry.
Does find it with his second dart. Andy Jenks 4-2 and will now throw for the match. The point in performance for Paul Nicholson, but there hasn't been many of them on what's been a great week. Not done yet.
$174.
But he could well be in a bit because Andy Jenkins starting off treble 20, treble 19, treble 19, and we've seen the inconsistencies in Paul's scoring throughout this match. Find something he hasn't found really until the early part. Gets a 140, but it's what's been around the big scores in the last sort of 2.5 legs. Andy Jenks backs his 174 up with a 10.
$41.
$140.
And 140 of Andy Jenks, Crown Glory with an 11 dart leg here. This has been good stuff from Jenks. Paul's been below par and he's done just enough. After trailing 2-1, is he about to reel 4 legs on the spin? I did say
45.
if someone could find just a little bit of consistency, they would play with this match, and it is Andy Jenks who's found it.
55.
Sets up the shot. And will return. And surely Crown victory is second of the day.
85.
Yeah, it's been a story match under 25. And Andy Jenkins wraps up victory by 5 legs. He's looking to end this week's campaign in style. He could potentially still finish second if results go his way. Paul Nicholson was below par there, but he'll forgive himself. He's already the champion of the Icons of Darts Live League and has 2 more matches to play. To complete the half stage, Adam Hutt versus Diogo Portela. And match 5. Brazilian Diogo Portela and Adam Huckvale. Huckvale wasn't pretty, but it was a win. Diogo lost to Paul Nicholson. And Paul was pretty deal in 900 Darts Live League for the ass. But Adam Huckvale to climb off the bottom of the table.
Bullseye.
But here's match against Aaron Monk. Can he do the same?
$58.
From the Mad Monk in that game is Huckvale. Adam just had a threatened to derail. Adam just couldn't with a flash of his true potential. In dart leg. Up and then comfortable throw the side leg. And Aaron Monk, who was Paul Nicholson's nearest challenger today, suffered 2 defeats. He plays Paul next. Aaron's still looking to do enough to finish second.
58.
That's all. This is Diogo, Huckvale versus Nicholson, Monk versus Portela, and Jenks seals the afternoon's procedures out of the and we'll fancy his chances in the remaining 2 matches.
58.
Well, it hasn't been a spectacular week for Andy. Could finish on a high.
180.
Huckvale finds the first max.
60.
So looking like a comfortable throw.
59.
That's it. The finishing's a big issue for Adam. That's what's. And at times when he did find a big score, he never backed it up. But he returns a double 4 here in leg. He does. Huckvale held in 19 darts. He's done the
57.
100.
134.
from the Brazilian Portela. Somebody's won a challenge tour, as has Adam Huckvale.
57.
2 last 16 appearances. Really trying to put Brazilian darts on the map, and he's doing a good job so far. Just feel he has to take that next step, and you'll know that he's playing good stuff at times, but he craves that tour card. He wants to go through the main order of merit. Current, he goes back to his homeland in Brazil and plays in the qualifier there.
$133.
He's yet to win a game on the Ali Pali stage. 3 times he's qualified. Suffered defeats, a spirited performance in his debut. Then he led Ron Mullenkamp by 2 sets to 0 the following year, but then eventually lost out 3-2. Well beaten. Josh.
58.
So we mentioned the World Cup that has been postponed and rearranged for later on in the year. Hey,
41.
96.
99.
60.
81.
happy at the beginning as well. Have seen a 180 from Huckvale. Following suit of Adams first.
99.
He did well to get that one out, and early signs they may have to do the same here.
180.
Finds his second maximum.
58.
4. Game in 3.
It's better. 15 dart leg, that equals his best leg of the day. Restores the lead by 2 legs to 1.
100.
140.
Signs Huckvale's just starting to settle. He never settled really in the whole match against Aaron.
96.
He plays
120.
well. Adam scored 120 with 2 darts. He's done that again there. He's had 3 points already, which is the barrel there.
60.
57.
Yeah, he switched down the board. Didn't find there, so it was a chance to really grab a hold
60.
of this leg, but it's patchy from Diogo. Fairly a point, but is that the off?
58.
A treble is visit.
$95.
Diogo picks up a treble.
Oh, Adam. 70.
10 scored. Rescues the situation with a treble 20, but Taylor 90. Should get a dart at the bullseye minimum.
65.
And he does, but so Huckvale for the bit of breathing space.
Oh, 36.
Doesn't find the double top, and that's day. Just has needed too many bites of the cherry to win a leg at the back end.
13.
But Diogo in this getting a little bit scrappy again now.
Game in 1.
Huckvale break. Leads by 3 legs to 1.
60.
96.
Just garbage. 29.
Poor open visit from Huckvale. 60 and 20.
81.
To take control of the match. Had a real poor start. Not out the 400s yet with 6 darts thrown.
100.
That's better. Huckvale, who hasn't his bad tackler, could potentially find himself on 2 wins out of 2. Top of today's league phase, joint with Hans.
58.
180.
But Taylor finds his first 180 and well on his way.
114.
Too little too late for Adam Huckvale. Gets him down to what he
12.
can't take advantage of this. Pull this from absolutely nowhere, really. He's not really threatened the finish.
73.
Jacking 2 darts.
But Taylor does get over the line. Now 3-2.
Twenty-six.
Sorry. 100.
Turn for Huckvale starting. Betters his first 6 darts in just 3 in this leg. And the roles reversed. This is what Huckvale did in the previous leg. But Taylor's doing it now, finding the break, but then
60.
starting really slowly.
58.
59.
57.
And Diogo will be disappointed.
125.
198 scored in his first. Surrendering the breaker throw back here.
99.
Let's find a treble there, but Huckvale, 6 darts minimum to get rid of 157.
55.
55 to leave 102. Huckvale will kick himself if he doesn't clinch this leg.
Uh, 82.
Does tidy up. But Taylor ain't going to get rid of the 146. Poor leg from
47.
Diogo.
No, 48. Sorry.
Such a good leg, last leg to break. Huckvale, though, to restore the 2-leg gap.
Game in 1.
Only needs 1 dart, and Huckvale will leads 4-2. Huckvale, that'll be spectacular. Is well on his way here from 2 wins out of 2.
Jesus Christ.
57.
95.
100.
Just doing enough, Adam Huckvale. Scores of a 10, 57 and a 10. Gives him a cushion of just over 100 points.
Oh, that's not good. 82.
Rescues the situation with his last start.
58.
To leave a 162 is not a finish, but Diogo Patel on 232. And it's too many visits, too many 59s and 58s. And that's Diogo on his social media the other day was very critical. That was his downfall, and it's haunted him again today. And Huckvale will return with some match darts.
90.
Double 16. For the match, Huckvale. And he finds it with his second dart. Another scrappy affair involving Adam Huckvale, but it's another victory. He's won 2 from 2. Diogo just couldn't get anything in there. Be back later on. But next up, we've got Paul Nicholson taking Monk.